Okay, we're back over here again. Spent about another hour and a half screwing around wiring. I had to reroute stuff, do things differently. So I had to reposition the wires here for the neutral switch because this crossover pipe goes right through there and it sticks out, it goes up real tight through here, so I can't have those wires looping up like I had them. So I had to reposition them and get them down lower out of the way. The coil wire was going through here, so I snaked it up underneath here also, tied in real tight, so now it goes up the coil up under here instead of being right across the top where the obviously exhaust goes. And then the other wire was the one that's not here anymore. It was one that was going down to the idiot light switch for the oil pressure. So that one was came out of over here and went down this way. So I yanked that all out, and now it's right here, snaking around the back side and going around that way. I also got the generator stuff all hooked up here. All those are all hooked up, so everything's hooked up on this side here. I also put the wire in here for the trigger switch for the solenoid. So I got that shooting across under the battery box and oil tank basically. So that should be most of the wires that are required on this side of the body. Now over here, I got all this other stuff going on. So now I got the wire, the harness coming across here, top of the motor. This is the one that goes from generator up to the regulator. This is the regulator. So the regulator had 1, 2, 3 written on it. So I found something with numbers on it finally. Okay, so I got this all tucked in through here. I had to route it up under here. Here's the idiot light wire. I had to reposition it. It was coming across the top. So it now comes down the back side through here. Right here. It's this one here. Snakes on down through. So anyway, this oil tank bracket, this right oil line bracket that comes off the frame right there, hard to see, is now right there. The wires are going down behind that. Everything goes behind that bracket right there, and that's what holds the wires up. So these are the two regulator wires here that come from over here. So they snake around, loop around, come up underneath, and they come up right to here, and they go to the regulator, which is right here. So that's where they're going to go. Okay, so everything had to be totally rerouted to make it clear, because we gotta have clearance for the exhaust pipe. Dual exhaust makes it kind of a pain in the ass. This is the wire I shot across the top of the frame that I thought went to regulator. It does. I think it had a 1 on it also, but either way, it's the wire that goes here. I figured it did that already. So this gives me the 3 wires that go to the regulator. Boom, right here. That's done. Okay, this is the one that snaked across from the solenoid over there. This comes over here. This goes where the starter relay is. The starter relay is laying someplace. Here it is over here. This is our starter relay wire. Relay. It goes up under here, right there. This wire here is a hot wire going to the relay, which also has a number 1 written on it, which would go up to number 1 post, which is the hot wire. I guess the hot wire's on the bottom of this one. So that's where all these wires are going to. I have no idea where the safety device goes because I don't use safety device at Harley, so I don't think that's going to be used. I went and grabbed some cables out of my junk wire box just in case I need some better ones than what they has. Okay, now when you have this up on here like this, regulars will not work unless they're grounded. If you don't have a ground wire to them, they do not work. They have to have a ground for the fields and stuff in order to work to make the points trigger. So this here is a ground wire that looks like they probably is going to something like this, or I can make it go all the way over here to this spot, which is where this is going to be hanging from. Okay, then we need a ground wire that's going to go from this grounds to the battery box. The battery box is still not grounded because it's all rubber mounted. So now you have a ground wire that goes from here down to your starter motor, which is this bolt, or actually to the transmission down here, these 2 bolts. Doesn't matter how you do it. Okay, I went and made this wire up because there was none in the kit. So this can go from here and it can go to anything I want to. Can't go to these 2. So it's even going to go to this bolt here, it's going to go to this one up here. This one's pretty much vacant, so it's easy to use. And it just goes right back up to like this. I can put all these wires together right to here, off this 1 bolt. That way everything's in 1 spot. So that would work pretty easy. Now this is a cable that goes across over the solenoid over there. So I gotta get this in here before I start burying this too far. So I gotta go dig up his cables and figure this out. So anyway, this plastic wire inside of here, but I found some old covering that matches, so it's nice and looks good. You'll never know it's plastic inside. This here is obviously modern crap, but it'll work. Alright, so that's the nutshell of what's going on right now. So I've dug up some some bolts here to use. So I got to get this stuff all tied up. So it looks like right now, before I get in trouble, I need to go find some battery cables to use. So this is one of his battery cables. This is not a Harley cable. Looks like it's cut down from something else. What a shocker. I don't know what other cables he's got. This looks like the only one I see right now. Oh, I got one more wire. I don't know where it goes, which is this one. And what I figured it was before I got to the side of the bike was it's probably for the starter. So this here is the wire that goes from the starter relay basically up to the ignition starter switch up here, which has to go through the circuit board over here. So it's going to go up to the circuit board. So that's why this thing is so long. It goes all the way from there all the way up to here. I'm not sure how it gets there. I'll have to figure that out by how it's bent. This side here has a number on it, so I'm assuming that end goes down there. Pretty much how most of this stuff's working. Okay, so we need to get some cables. See what they got in cables. I thought I saw a couple cables floating around someplace. Digging around for stuff for the last hour and a half. Probably no stinking cables anywhere to be had now. Here's another one. This is another car cable. These are not Harley cables. Okay. Alright, so these here have to go to these two posts right here. This one goes to the battery, this one here goes to the starter motor. So, I'm not sure which one's which, so it's got the right size, 1/4 inch and 3/8, so that's a plus. I think these are the only two that we have. Junk around here all over the place. Alright, so this is the other one we got. So these are basically all we got to work with, so I'm going to probably go over here and grab some of my Harley cables. See, Harley cables are made different than car cables. See, that's a car cable, or whatever, universal. Here's a bike cable. It's insulated, it's got a nice round eyelet on it. It's not a big bulky piece of crap like cars use and tractors. It has a nice small little terminate in on it. So this is the one we're going to use. So this one's going to go from here over the battery, and then we have another one going back, over the solenoid, and another one back this way. Both of these are 15-inch cables. So this looks like one right here we can use. This one's a little bit chewed up here on that side, so we'll put that over here. It doesn't really matter because it's not really going to hit against anything over here. Okay, so I'll figure out how I'm going to make these things root across. Yeah, I'm going to use my cables. I don't like these pieces of crap, so we're not using these. I'm not going to use the safety device. I'm not using those. Okay, so got it kind of figured out. What I can do is figure out how I'm going to get that cable over there without hitting anything. Obviously, I got to stay away from the clutch cable here, or clutch lever. So, usually kind of shoot up in there. Get them up to like this area up under here. So, usually what I do is I fish them through from the other side. So these are the two here we're going to use. Actually, I got 3 of them here. He didn't have a ground cable, so. Alright. Let's go figure out what we're going to do here. Everything is trial by error and figure out which works the best without contacting something else. Makes it fun. Okay, there's the boot we got to use. So we're going to go ahead and take this wire back off. Okay. Let's see, this is the crappy one. flashlight go to? Just got to kind of figure out where you want to put it. Whatever looks the safest. So we're going to have this clutch. This is up in this area here. And the shifter's down low. So I'm going to just be above level here. So we just run it across pretty much where that cable's coming through, close to it. This one here. Bend it so it works for what we're going to do. Kind of pre-bend it, kind of what we're after. Usually like to go in that direction. Put that right there. Temporary right there to see how it looks. This one's got to go up to the battery. Probably have to lengthen this one because we're going to go to the back of the battery. Let's see if I shoot it across that way. Oil line over there, but okay, I need to go over there and see what that all looks like on the other side. Okay, this one here is short. We're going to put an upgraded battery, and it's just, instead of the post being here, it's going to be way back here, and these are a couple inches too short, and guess what? It's a couple inches too short. What a shocker. Okay, so we're going to have to lengthen this one. We'll have to deal with that, obviously. Okay, this one over here looks like it's laying right on top of the starter we want it to be. It's laying right here. That's a good sign. So I just take this off right here. Bend it a little bit. Now this is only hot when you hit the button. Okay, I'm going to bend it down a little bit. Make it sit flat. Okay. Looks like that goes way in the back. So it clears the arm. The arm's way up here, so that looks like it'll work pretty good. Probably a little bit longer than it needs to be, it looks like. Yeah, it is. That might not be too big of a problem, though. It snakes up around the backside over there, so probably not a major issue. But this one being too short is a major issue, so we're going to have to definitely come with a longer cable. These are some other ones I dug out. I have to see if this is longer than that one I just did, because this needs to be 2 inches longer. We're going to use this new style battery here, heavy duty, high output. Yep, plus is in the back, so it used to be up here, it's over here now. Okay, so I have to be able to get up to about where my finger is, and this one's a little bit too short. Okay, so we're going to have to pull that back out and figure that out. Figure out what's going to happen here. Okay, so More likely these are probably all the same lengths. Yep. Okay, so we're going to use a brand new cable on this, longer than stock length. This one of these car cables longer. Well, a little bit shorter if anything. And this one here. Nope, still short. Okay, so I need more length than this. Alright, just have to deal with that. So I'm going to go ahead and get going and put this all together on this side. Some tools. Tools are gone. Yeah, wonderful. There's some of them. Nice when all your tools are on the wrong side of the darn thing over here. Let's see. Still missing a ratchet. Can't see it. It's out of sight. It's over here someplace. There's the big ratchet. Small ratchet is missing again. See, when you're done with it, get your tools back where they go, and then it disappears, see? There's my 7/16. So somebody pied it from me. Appears to be well hidden. We just had that same problem with the screwdriver, didn't we? Oh, there's the ratchet. It's over there in front of me. Dumbass. Look at that dumbass. It's right here. Look at that. Found it. Okay. Got a bunch of hardware here for holding things together. Okay, first thing I do is tighten down this starter cable here. Yep. See, I got a 6-point wrench. I need a 12-point. Come from the top. Okay, that's mounted. Okay, and we got this piece here. See, this is going to go to the lower side over here. I don't want to be near the exhaust pipe though, so we're going to snake up some other way to get there. I'm not sure yet how that's going to happen. We'll figure that out too. Okay, so we're going to have a whole bunch of washers here. It'd be nice if we had a 1/4-inch washer to go with a 1/4-inch bolt. That looks like a washer, I guess. Okay, so we're going to have this one here. There's my custom one I had made. This one here. This here. It goes on there like that. Probably have room to put a little. Actually, we don't need it because everything's right here. We only grounded 2 wires getting right on top of each other, so they're fine. Do a lock washer on the back side and a nut. There's some shorter bolts I grabbed just in case. 1/4-inch washer would be nice. hard time looking for hardware when you're doing a job around here. Okay, it's a little bit shorter bolt because we don't have all the junk to go through. Problem is the wire's in the way underneath it. Okay. Looks like it'll work. That's tight. That's tight. Okay, so that's all mounted down low there. I didn't want to drop. So now this is all mounted up under here like it's supposed to now. So, okay, this is our ground wire. This is our hot wire. It needs to go to the regulator. So let's figure out how we're going to get that over there. So I don't really want to come up under the exhaust pipe over here. That's going to be asking for problems. Right now I need to get some 3 nuts and 3 washers to hold that all together. That's not the right hardware. See, I don't have any more hardware I can use. Every time I look for stuff it's missing. So I brought my hardware over. Typical deal. Yeah, get a course. First shot. That's pretty good. There's another one. That's a new one. That looks too good. There's a different sizes too. Yeah. So you gotta find your hardware we can get it. Okay, some lock washers to go with everything else. Lock washers. All right. You should have run a flat washer when you're dealing with the regulator the way it's made, because this is not a very strong support, so you need a flat washer pushing all the way. That's what you really need. And you're not supposed to cram them down really hard and tight either, like I do all the time. I'm going to find some kind of hardware around here to use. There you go. Yeah, pretty good so far. Looks like 5/16 to me. There's another 1/4 incher. Okay, so there's all our hardware. Now just go over here and tighten it all down. If I went to my brand new drawer, I could have had it in about 30 seconds, grab what I needed, but try not to do that on these jobs. So a flat washer, a lock washer, and a nut. Do all 3 of them. You're supposed to tighten them up and not crush them. So that way there's still some rubber mounting going on. So you got the rubber in here. So you tighten them up good, but don't totally crush them. See how when you rotate it, it kind of moves a little bit. See the movement? Not just this whole bracket bending, but the rubber. This is doing it too. Alright, so that's mounted. So now I get over to where the wires are at, and I get to wire them all up in there. Now if you look at the post, you see how they're marked field. Probably got an A on there for an armature, and that one's probably got a B down there for battery. Or it's got written bat down there. Can't read it, so that's how they're done. Like, so you got to have your ground on here, it does not work. Okay, this needs to go to the bottom terminal. This needs to go to the bottom terminal also, which is going to be a hard squeeze, but it looks like it'll just make it. Down between the back and the motor here. Okay, so that's going to go right to there also. Right over there. So these two got to be connected together. Okay, let's see if we can get some of the stuff connected. So, anyway, I'm going to get all these connected up. I'll be back. You don't need to watch me hook up a bunch of screws. We'll be back.